Hey everyone. So, news is terrible. I mean, it's not terrible to know about news, but there's no real way to learn about it. At least not comfortably or at your own time or perfectly. What I mean is, you can either watch the news and watch reporters talk about cats for 2 hours and then have 10 minutes of actual news, or, have them rant about how Obama's the devil or something. Now, online, you can wait for the newspaper. That's a thing. But once again, you end up with overly long articles with facts that you probably don't care about, half the articles that you don't care about, and a wastage of excess paper. Now, online news reading apps fare a little bit better, but once again, a lot of clickbait. Far more than you care about, and really not much to do with all the information. Nothing more to learn after you read that article with any of these sources. Which brings me to Circa, easily one of my favorite apps. Now it's available for both Android or iOS. And basically it's supposed to give you news, but in a different sort of way. For example, Senate passes bill to extend transportation funding. Okay, yeah. And it basically gives you, I guess the best way to describe it would be the essentials, the basics. Let's go with that. It gives you the basics of a news article, and a lot of people might be saying, well, what if I want to read more? Well, that's the beauty of it. You can. You see, at the very bottom, it says citations, and that is all of these that it used to get all of this information. And basically what you can do is, if you're interested in the article after reading the basics, you can click on it, on one of the citations, or slowly read all of them, your choice. And basically, it'll take you to the article, and you can now read the entire thing. If you're interested in the story, or, save it offline for later or something. But the point is, it's a simpler way to have news. It's kind of like having trials for games, like demos, or maybe a little bit of a music that you get for free on Amazon or Google Play, where you can listen to a tiny bit of it for free to kind of see if you're interested, and then you can buy the music. Same principle, really. If you're interested, after the demo of the article, you can read the entire thing. Except it probably won't cost money. Probably. I don't know if it pulls from Wall Street Journal or anything like that. Anyways, another cool thing is, first of all, I just love the simplicity of the app and the design of it all. And you can see there's a pretty cool animation. It kind of seems to follow Material Design, if I'm being honest. Google's new Android L. Oh, and also, as you can see here, there's a kind of card interface, so each time you scroll through, it'll go to a different card, kind of like pages of a book, almost. Now, if I go into settings and go to Smart Scroll, or Smooth Scroll, you can see that it'll take to this smoother, more normal, or more traditional type of scrolling. I actually prefer the non-smooth scroll, just because I like the Google Now-ish card interface. Anyhow, as I said, really, really nicely designed app, but also there's this. Researchers identify a cancer-fighting natural compound. Now, I want to follow further developments of its story, let's say that. Now, with a regular newspaper, you wouldn't really know where to look. For example, there might be a development next week, there might not. You don't know. With this, however, you can follow, and then any similar stories will automatically be curated, and it'll give you a notification. You can also share this to people. So, for example, I'm like, oh, if I have a friend with, I don't know, it's someone who would be interested in this kind of thing, I can share it to them. And that's a pretty cool feature. Again, something you can't do with a newspaper. Maybe you might be able to do it with live news, I guess, if you tell a friend to turn the channel on, maybe. But anyways, again, and this is another thing, related storylines. That basically allows you, once again, that was my original point, that once you've read an article in a newspaper, you can't really do anything else with it. Like say, oh, that sounds cool, I want to know more about that. Now, I can go around on Google and, find it eventually, maybe. But that is completely inefficient because I might not have direct links to the information that I've gotten, and it might have a different source or a different type of study, and it's just a mess. But with this related storyline, for example, you get research doubles size of cancer gene database. Now that's related to the cancer story, but it's not completely relevant to this. For that, once again, citations, and you can read these two stories here to get the full article. Anyways, and followed, as you can see here, is Twitter Q2. I thought that was kind of interesting. It exceeded expectations, so I followed that. And now, let's say it takes a loss. I will get a notification for the article to read about Twitter suddenly losing a lot of money in revenue or something. So I just think that's pretty cool. Now, this isn't perfect. There's really no way to find out which way to curate. It doesn't go by personal preference. It just kind of does things for you. And I don't really like things that push you to do things. I mean, push things for you instead of not having you do things yourself. I mean, it's fine to a certain degree, but it gets a bit overboard here because you can't really, again, you can't really change anything. Like, oh, you want to read about some specific type of science? Well, you can't really. You just kind of got to scroll through here. Similar to a newspaper, really. And that's about it. I think that this is a fantastic app and that you should definitely try it out and see if it's your taste, because I personally will be using it very often. All my news, maybe. Who knows? But thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.